And here we have the iPad Air 2 in gold. The iPad Air, as you can see, written in gold along the side. Here's the back of the box with 128 gigs. Let's see, focus in, if it'll do it. 128 gigabytes. You can look around the packaging and see you got iPad Air, nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. So they've definitely changed their packaging up a bit since the iPad 3, which is the last 9.7-inch iPad, and it is sitting right there, as well as my iPad mini with Retina display. And to go along with this, iPad Air smart cover. So let's start out, we'll go ahead and slice open the box, just like so. A little cut down the side. That ought to do it. And there we go. So now I should be able to go ahead, get that wrapper off of there. That's always the best part of an Apple product. There we go. Now we've got the iPad in the box, and we can go ahead and get the box off of the iPad. There we go. Set that right there. Alright, so here we've got the iPad Air 2. Very thin, very light. This is my first iPad with a white display, but it is not the white one, it is actually the gold iPad Air 2. As you see by the Touch ID ring on the bottom, it is gold. Very thin, very light. I'm going to set that right there as I go through the rest of this really quick. Here is the lightning connector and the 12-watt charger adapter. They started doing the 12-watt ones with the iPad 4, so this is my first 12-watt adapter for an iPad, as the iPad mini still did the 10-watt adapter. Inside the literature packet, we have the iPad on a card. They've always done cards for the iPad, and of course a couple of Apple stickers. So now let's move along and do the iPad here. So 128 gigs, we've got our iPad here in this wrapper. To get it off, we just simply peel this up like so, and we can slide out the iPad. There we go. iPad out of the box, 128 gigs. This one, as you can see, it's a lot less reflective than former iPads were. That's one of the things they had talked about when releasing the iPad, was that the reflection was not quite so bad as it is on the iPad Air and the iPad 3. So initial impressions is just how light it really is. And I came last year from the iPad mini. So this is the iPad mini with Retina display, which is virtually the iPad Air minus a few inches on the screen. So here you can kind of see the two side by side. You can see that gold here on the iPad, and you can see this one. But you can also, let me move this out of the way, compare it to the iPad 3 right here, which is my last 9.7-inch iPad before I switched to the iPad mini. And we can see how much thinner it is. You can see it's a lot smaller bezels. The bezels are a lot smaller on the iPads. Screens are the same size on both iPads. And the camera here is a lot better. So hardware-wise, a lot thinner, a lot lighter. It's more like the iPad mini. They definitely copied the iPad mini's design here, except the mini will kind of fit on the display. So having the bigger display is going to definitely be quite a nice addition to the iPad. So let's boot it up for the very first time. You should see a white screen and a black Apple logo. There we go. So as I wait for that to boot up real quick, I'm I'm going to go ahead and grab the smart cover. So here I have a smart cover. It's white to go along with the gold iPad Air. So if I just pull up on this tab here, it releases the smart cover, which unlike the smart covers for the iPad 3rd generation that was done in a 4 thing, it's a lot smaller actually. You can see here it does not actually cover the full iPad 3, but it does nicely cover this gold iPad. So you can see there, smart cover. It will automatically unlock the iPad, so when you open it up, it unlocks the iPad, and we're on setup screen, but it will fold back and allow you to go into landscape mode. So that is the iPad Air 2, and that is the gold iPad Air 2 and the white iPad smart cover.